Good evening, all. Ira Epstein of Linn Associates with your financial market wrap-up for this Thursday, the 20th of May, 2021, about 6:50 p.m. Central Time. Been a rough week. Playing out a rough week. You're getting whipsaws every which way, be it the currencies, the interest rates, stock indices, crazy action even going on with Bitcoin. It was $30,000 yesterday. So today it's back to 40,000. I mean, that's a 25% swing. And if you think that makes sense, I wish you the best. In the energy markets, sort of stable, yet they're getting bear news. It sounds like the U.S. and Iran and Europe have gotten back into the treaty part that they were talking about. As much as I hate that personally, I get it, and I get what the world's trying to do. But I think it'll be more of the same. Israel and Bahamas, they seem to have reached a temporary truce. We'll see if it holds up tonight as well. So these are all positives for the market. And of course, the COVID cases, life getting back to normal, these are all real good things. But we got noise in the market. And what we did over this week, in fact, it began last week, in all honesty. It began last week when the grain market started falling apart. And then it came in, it took the copper from the 480 area back down into the 450 zone. Gold has actually held up, but the dollar was trying to get up into the mid 91s. It has given it all back. The euro, which looked a little weak early on, has come back with strength. If you look at interest rates, they're just flat. I wrote a report to my clients. I began last night and finished it up today. And I tried to show them something because the news leads you wrong. How big do you think the Fed's balance sheet is? It's monstrous, right? We've never seen anything like this because they keep buying billions through the whole COVID program. They will taper that back. But what happens with the money that matures? Because every single day and month, money's maturing. They're not just buying long end of the yield, they're buying short, long. Which one are they controlling? The short end. That stuff rolls on a regular basis. You do realize they can taper and still keep putting that money back in the market and keep the market where it's at. People don't seem to get that. I don't know why they don't get it, but I think they will in time. That's not to say the overall pressure of interest rates isn't higher. It is. The Fed at some point will not only taper, they might not reinvest. They want to get the market back to whatever they decide normal is. We're seeing that in Europe and other parts of the world already, where they're all, and these central banks are now letting the economies get back. So you take that off, interest rates go up a little bit, and of course you're going to get transitory inflation. Why? Because as you first go out, you get all this demand. Example, a concert ticket. Go try to buy one, right? Everybody hasn't been to a concert in God knows how long. They want to see their favorite. That's going to be the demand. The demand can have higher price than you would think. But after a year of that, it has to get back to what is normal. Transitory. I'm just making up one of those things. There's many more to deal with. When we look at the S&P for the week, you're down 0.21. So what? That's nothing. And if you go back on the chart, you were down 1.33 the week before. So this whole break that has happened has taken the market down 1.5%. And people are on the news, because that's what newscasters do. Is this it? Is sell may go away and the market's going to come down? If it comes down, I'm still looking for major support in the 39.95 level. Let's call it the 4,000 level. If we look at this chart, it's more of the same. You're caught between that high and low, and you're just churning like mad right now. When I put on the swing line, the trend is what? Well, it's two parts. You have the lower highs, but you now have higher lows. You've stepped out of the downtrend. You're not in an uptrend, you're not in a downtrend. Where do you think the battle is taking place? Look at the 18-day average of closes, right on it. So if the market can clear this high right over here, this day's high, which was 41.79.5, well, what could that do? Well, that could start the market saying, okay, we formed our lows, we formed our highs. I think it's already done that, but that could put the market bullish again. Then you'd have higher lows, higher highs, and you could be over the 18-day average. What do you think the bears are doing right now? Well, I think some of the pros are actually selling this market right here with the stop over that number to see if the market wants to fall back down. Where's the Bollinger Band? It has contained the breaks in the market. We haven't tested rallies recently. We did that at the beginning of the month, and the rest of this month has been spent with the market getting nervous about when's the Fed going to taper? Is the Fed going to do it now? Is it going to be 2022? Is it going to be 2023? All that nonsense you get in the center of what? The summer. I read the Fed notes. I do not know how some of these people are coming up that the Fed is changing things. I read them twice. I'm lost. I think they're saying the same thing they've said. When the time's appropriate, they'll discuss it. Is that time going to be June? I don't know. Is it going to be further on? I don't know. Logic tells me they might want to see another employment report before they start discussing that, because they got shocked and everybody got shocked at how terrible that was. In time, that's going to pick up, but is it going to be September when a lot of these relief programs end, or is it going to be gradual between June and July as 21 states are now stepping out of the programs, and in June for some states, July for others, that $300 a week will not be there, and then workers have to decide, is regular unemployment enough? Probably isn't. They'll go back to work. But that's what I'm seeing here, the churning of the sideways action. In the NASDAQ, you're back up to the 18-day average. Momentum's up. The market has said, okay, maybe enough is enough on the downside. It's got to close over 13,486 to be bullish. That would be the first close back over that number since back, believe it or not, in April, back over here. So that could be important, but that's where the resistance point is right now. The Dow is trendless. You have a higher high, lower low. You're caught in the Bollinger Band. You see it here. You see it here. You haven't stepped away. And almost on a regular basis, you're trying to hit that average and just spin around it. The Russell is still one of the weaker ones, but the first challenge of a 100-day average, it's often a zone that between that and the Bollinger Band, the market tries to find support. It's not uncommon. That's what it's doing. Where's the resistance? It's back at the 18-day average. Now, if you can get back up and over this number of 2245.10 on this formation and close over 2760, let's call it, that would give you higher lows, higher highs at the end of a week. That would look good. So that's what it has to do to get bullish. The bears have to keep it from doing that to keep people on the ropes. In the VIX, the market's pulling back, and as I told you, I think the pros wrote yesterday, not today, yesterday, calls looking for the closest moving average. That would be the 100. They got it. Whether it hits the 18 or not, be nice, but it doesn't mean anything. In the 30-year bond, where's the resistance? Well, I think you'd agree with me. It's hanging right there at the 18-day average. In this big break in the stock market, did we do anything in bonds? We went from the upper part here to the lower, stayed within the Bollinger Bands just about the whole time, and have been drifting. That's not a market that's adding a lot of premium in yield right now. 10-year note, do you see a trend there? Because I don't. This market's just drifting back and forth. This is that psychiatry trade. It is totally flat, unlike this market, which has a slight drift to it. And you just go back and forth and you want to call your psychiatrist. Why isn't it moving? Why does it continue? The dollar index is bearish but oversold. So resistance, well, as long as you're under the 18-day average, you have it. But if it embeds down the road, then I'm going to get even more bearish. And obviously the flip of this is what the euro is doing, and the euro's overbought, not embedding either. So these numbers are a lot of resistance. These are markets that might be a bit tired right here. They need to either embed or correct a little bit. It'll be one of the two. British pound, you're fully embedded. I see buying on these breaks, looking for that 142.74. This is a bullish chart as I see it. Bitcoin, so you got down for a couple of days. We said yesterday, watch out here. This is yesterday. Let me get to this. I said I wouldn't be surprised if it tries to fight to get back in to the Bollinger Bands. I said that this morning to my paid subscribers as well. It's exactly what you did, and that's where you're at right now. Nothing has changed. The trend hasn't changed. There's resistance, and I warn you, this 18-day average is trying to get under that 100-day. That could be another bearish element to the chart. And I know everybody's going to tell me it's going higher. It's a market that did a flush out. No question it did a flush out by getting to 30,205 from up near 65,000. Now the question is there another leg to it, or does it need to breathe for a while? When I come to the difference between Brent and July WTI, I'm starting to get a little more interested. It's starting to fail and get some legs to the downside. That would mean the differential between the two are getting closer. Why? The word Iran. If Iran's going to put oil back on the market, as much as OPEC has controlled everything, now they might have that oil to deal with, and there's a new port that Iran has built ready to go. Iran's been selling oil. We all know that. We know China's been buying it, but what can we do about it? That's the reality of everything that goes on. Not very much. But now they'll be able to sell to other people and compete within OPEC for market share, if they get that truce done. In Brent, look at how this market is falling apart. I mean, that's almost a $6 break. Rather severe, upper Bollinger Band, lower band, and oversold. I'll let somebody else have the fun with that. Same with WTI. Why get involved? You know, the markets realize more oil supply, legit, might come on the market. Higher high, lower low, no trend here. Gasoline's very oversold. I still look forward to the summer driving season. This is not summer, this is May 20th. That is yet to come. So you put it together, these are what's going on. You take your look at the market and you try to come up with game plans, and that's what I do. Twice a day I write a news report. I put it out at approximately 11:30 in the morning and near 8 p.m. at night. So I spend my afternoon taking highlights, and I write like this, with highlights giving you idea what the markets are doing. I give you a quick summation at the end of it in a paragraph or two explaining what I'm doing. I'm tired of reading newsletters that can give me 6 million facts. First of all, I'm not a statistician. I don't want that. I want to get to the end of the report. Are they bullish? Are they bearish? Why is that the case? Rest of it, I'll leave to somebody else. So if you're looking for the stats, I'm certainly not going to be your guy. If you're looking for a technician to talk about Bollinger Bands, moving averages, crossovers, you found a home. And I do that, and I do it on a regular basis, and I'd like you to look at it for free. Your nickel is not that, even a toll-free number. If you're out of the country, just go on our website, sign up for the free trial. I'll give you all the products we have, including our Spider ETF videos, if that interests you as well, my morning subscriber video, and of course, you're going to be invited next week when I start my flash rounds of What's Up, where you come in with questions, I'll answer them, and that's it. I'm shooting for next Wednesday to be the first date. That is the goal that I'm now setting up. There'll be emails telling you how to get into this, and I intend on doing it regularly. It's going to be short, it'll be fun, and we answer as many questions as can be. I'm Ira. You have a great day, and thanks for watching.